Hey guys, it is Alex, and I know it's been like a hot minute since I have made a video. The last pregnancy update that I did, I was starting to feel a little better, and then it just nosedived. So I said like, yeah, I'm gonna be making videos all the time because I'm feeling better, and then I got sick again, and it's just been like a roller coaster. So this is going to be my 6 to 9 week pregnancy update, and then I'm gonna upload another video tomorrow, which will be the 10 and 11 week update. I'm currently 12 weeks right now, so then I gotta make a 12-week video towards the end, and hopefully we can continue with weekly updates. I actually did my hair and makeup today, you guys, because pretty much I've been doing nothing but laying on the couch and not doing my hair. Hardly can even get in the shower most days just because of how bad it's been. So this is the video that I told you that I would tell you about the fainting spell, at least the first one that happened. There have been 2 more since then that I'll bring up in the 10 and 11 week video, and we're still looking for answers. So 6 week update was the first fainting episode, and it was the worst. I had to call 911. And it's not just the normal like low blood pressure, standing up too quickly type of fainting. This happened in my second pregnancy with Kendall. I don't know if you look back on those vlogs. It was a while ago. So back in 2013, I had a lot of fainting episodes, and they couldn't figure out why. I had an EKG done. I had an ultrasound of my heart done. I wore a Holster monitor for 24 hours, and they just couldn't figure it out. And with her, sorry, I'm like out of breath right now. With Kendall, it ended up developing into preeclampsia, and she was delivered at 37 weeks. So I don't know if this will end up developing into preeclampsia. With my third pregnancy, I had problems with blood pressure in the beginning, and I was put on a beta blocker, but it luckily didn't develop into preeclampsia. Okay, so the first time the fainting episode happened, I was just recovering from feeling like really sick. I had a really bad cold, but for like the past 2 days, I had felt really good. Like I was up and moving around again. And so I went to go pick up my daughter from school, which is about 20 minutes away. And when I got out of the car, I kind of felt a little off, like almost like my head was, I don't know, maybe developing like a headache eventually. I just didn't feel 100% at that point. So I thought maybe I was just hungry. So I went and I grabbed food, and probably about 5 minutes after that is when like the symptoms started. So I don't fully faint, but I get those precursor symptoms. So, I mean, and it's different every time, but it's usually like, you know, an intense hot flash. Your mouth like just starts to feel weird. My hearing always gets affected. So either my hearing will start to fade, or I'll get the ringing in my ears, and then kind of like the vision. So there's been times where it's like almost gotten black, like almost like you're just fading type of feeling. And then I don't know if maybe it's like nausea that comes over you as well. But I took a bite of my mozzarella stick, and I instantly like just spit it out. For some reason, I couldn't even chew it. I don't know if it made me like feel sick or what, but it started happening fast, and there was a cop in front, and it was so bad that I was like, should I just start honking my horn and waving like my hand out the window, or like just acting crazy to get this cop's attention to help me? I mean, I had my 4-year-old in the car and my 6-year-old in the car, and I think I was starting to panic at the same point because my 4-year-old has autism. So I'm like, oh my God, if I like pull over and I pass out, you know, what's gonna happen? Is anyone gonna come over? Like, very scary. So I pulled over, I called my husband, I was crying. I like waited it out for 2 minutes, and then like I dumped water on myself. Like I just needed to like cool down for some reason. And then I pulled up to another parking lot, and I was like, I can't do this. Like I can't drive. And I dumped water all on myself. I couldn't really drink it. I'd put it in my mouth, and then like I'd spit it back out. So I wasn't really wanting to drink, but I was trying to dump water on myself. I had all the windows down, and it's winter time here, so it's really cold. And I wanted to like get out of the car and go lay in the snow, but I didn't even have the strength to open the door and get out of the vehicle. And at that point I was like, I need to call 911. If I faint in the car, like, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up right away. Like, Everyone says you wake up right away, but I've fainted before, well, passed out when I was 16 playing the pass out game. That's the only time I've ever fully passed out, and there were complications. I stopped breathing. So I've had this fear that, oh my God, like what if there's something wrong when I go under, that like I just don't automatically wake up. So I called 911. The paramedics helped me get onto a stretcher. They transported me, you know, in the ambulance. My blood sugar was fine. I was getting these like moments where I still felt like I was gonna faint. Like I'd say every minute, it was almost like a wave would come in and I would be like, I can't talk right now. And so I got to the ER and they, you know, wanted to pump me with fluids like they always do. They said my blood pressure was a little low, but my blood pressure normally is never low. Like I'm always on the higher end, especially in pregnancy. In pregnancy, I'm always on the higher end. When I'm not pregnant, I do have like good days. There's some days that I'm elevated, but I do have like good days. But they thought I was a little bit low blood pressure, so they thought that was the reason. They thought maybe I was dehydrated. Then they thought that I had a UTI, but everything else checked out okay. So I stayed there for about 2 hours, went home. I was so ill for about 5 days. I couldn't get out of bed. I was nauseated. I didn't eat. I didn't have the strength to get out of bed. I was trying, you know, drinking as much as I could. I had Benadryl by my bedside because they gave me Benadryl because they say that sometimes helps with nausea. And I've never had morning sickness in any of my pregnancies before. So I don't really honestly know what nausea feels like. I don't know what morning sickness feels like because I don't normally get it. I didn't really feel like I was going to throw up. I was just constantly feeling really dizzy and just out of it. Like I said, I had no strength to even take care of my kids. My husband had to take care of them. My mother-in-law had to come over. My mom had to come over. I was just really ill. I ended up losing 5 pounds, which, I mean, it's not a horrible thing because I'm overweight right now. That's a whole nother story. And then ever since that point, I no longer feel safe driving by myself. So I have people like coming over and driving for me when they have days off or being in the car with me because I just don't feel comfortable. So now I have like anxiety. And then also I stopped drinking coffee after that happened. Not because like I was afraid that the caffeine was going to elevate it, but I don't crave it, which is really weird because I've drank probably 2 coffees a day since I was 16 and I'm 30 right now. So you would think that I'd have like this horrible headache because normally I would get a headache if I didn't have coffee, but my body doesn't want caffeine whatsoever. Yeah, so that was my 6th week. I didn't end up having a UTI. I called the OB. So, I mean, to them, everything looked fine. 7 weeks, I started feeling slightly better. I did buy a bunch of stuff because they told me like, oh, you know, it could be low blood sugar, like you should be eating this and make sure you have this vitamin. And if it is morning sickness, you know, you can get Preggy Pop drops and C-bands and all that. So I bought everything because I was like, all right, I want this to go away or I'm going to die this entire pregnancy. So I bought C-bands. They're super cheap. I think they're like $4.99 or $5.99. It helps with people who are motion sickness, seasickness, pregnancy, morning sickness. I don't know if it really helps, but I think it's sort of like a mind over matter type of thing. And I just tell myself that it works. I bought Preggy Pop drops. They are natural, drug-free, doctor recommended. They honestly taste like Jolly Ranchers. And again, I think it's more of like a mind over matter type of thing. I tell myself, all right, this is gonna take away any type of nausea. And I take it. Sour apple and raspberry are my favorite. I take Tums, and I got the chewable ones because regular Tums taste chalky and gross. And these are really yummy. Doctors recommended me taking this anyways because I'm low calcium and I've had horrible heartburn. These are the prenatals that I've always taken in all of my pregnancy. They're chewables. It's by VitaFusion. I haven't really been taking it a lot in this pregnancy, which I should be. But during all that sickness, I didn't want to take this. It like made it worse. And then this is vitamin B6, B12, and folic acid. And these are chewable tablets. I can't swallow pills, you guys. I know I'm a baby. These don't taste the greatest, but they're not awful. It does have a little bit of a chalky like chalky, acidic like flavor. But it has 50 milligrams of B6. So I had can't talk. I originally bought a liquid B6 supplement because it was the only one available at GNC. And I guess it only has 2 milligrams, and you're supposed to have 50 when you're pregnant. So B6 helps with nausea, and B12 helps with vomiting, I guess. So I take these every day. And then also I make sure that I eat every 2 hours, and I make sure I get a lot of protein in. That I guess helps with feeling faint. So I've been doing all of that. Oh, and drinking a ton of water. I think I drink about 100 ounces of water a day, a ton. 8 weeks, I had my first OB appointment. Also had an ultrasound at that point. And I'll show you my ultrasound pictures in 1 second. The biggest symptom that I've had at 8 weeks is my breasts were so sore. Like, so sore. Anytime like you touch them, like I was just wondering if that was ever gonna go away. Always feeling super hot at nighttime, especially like at bedtime. I have to have the fan on. I don't have any clothes on. Like I just am so warm. I wasn't really feeling like going out Christmas shopping. I don't really like want to go out of the house at all. So I did a lot of online shopping when I was like feeling semi-okay. The one day that I did go out shopping, I went to the Motherhood Maternity store, and I'm really sad because they're going out of business. Well, at least the stores are. They're moving it to online sales, and I absolutely love that store. I got a few things there. And Juliana, my youngest, my 4-year-old, she had an eye appointment. She's gonna need glasses. She's the first one of any of my kids that need glasses. And that was really rough for her. They had to put in drops in her eyes that make her pupils dilate, and it just really bothered her. 9 weeks, I was feeling good. I hadn't had a fainting spell in a while. There were moments of like dizziness or like a little woozy, but I didn't have that like that fainty feeling. And when that fainty feeling comes, it's like impending doom. Like it just brings on this like horrible, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die type of feeling. So I hadn't had that in a while. It was Christmas week, which we were super busy, and the girls got tons of toys, like so many things. And I got a lot of hats. I got 5 hats, and I got a really nice North Face zip up, and a really nice buffalo plaid sweatshirt from American Eagle. All of these things that I can't wait to wear, but I just can't wear right now because I can't wear layers because I get too hot. And then when I start feeling hot, I feel claustrophobic, and then I start feeling like I'm gonna pass out because I can't breathe. So I rarely wear jackets out in the 20-degree weather or 10-degree weather, and I can't wear my hats because if I have it on for longer than a minute, I start feeling flushed. So that kind of stinks. We announced to everyone that we were having our 4th baby. We bought a really cute ornament, which I didn't take off the tree. And yes, I still have my tree up. Don't judge. I love Christmas. But we just put it on like a family ornament and like put baby. So that was really fun. So I just want to show you the ultrasound that we've gotten so far, at least for the 6 to 9 week. This was a 5-week ultrasound, and this was just when the yolk sac was there. So you can see right there. That was the yolk sac. I was just happy that it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. Gestational sac was where it should be. Yolk sac was where it should be. We were just kind of concerned if the fetal pole was going to show up. Excuse me. Which it did. Checking time here because I have to go get my daughter here soon. All right, so this was my 8-week ultrasound where fetal pole showed up, as you can see right there. Fetal pole, baby. So yeah, that is my 6 to 9 week update. Like I said, I'm gonna do the 10 to 11 week. It's gonna be updated tomorrow. And then hopefully we can keep doing this weekly, and we can just kind of like follow it together. So yeah, so if you want to follow this pregnancy vlog, you know, subscribe, turn the notification bell thingy on, and yeah, follow along. It's gonna be fun. I'm not finding out the gender, and you can also look back at previous vlogs. I vlogged a little bit for my 3rd pregnancy. My 2nd pregnancy, I vlogged a lot more, and I really should be doing a lot more family vlogs, or like even after the birth, because I just kind of got busy and stopped. I hope you guys follow along, and I'm excited.